I stand at the old door. Behind it is her apartment. I knock, and in response, 3 knocks. After the divorce, I felt broken. It wasn't just the end of a relationship. It was the end of a life I'd spent almost 10 years building. He left, took almost everything, including mutual friends. I was left with emptiness, anxiety, and a huge desire to disappear. I thought about starting over, a new job, a new apartment, a new me. But it was harder than it seemed. Money was tight. I barely had enough for the down payment on this apartment. The house was old, shabby, with peeling paint on the stairs and a musty smell in the hallway. The rental agent said, "The neighbors are quiet, the house is solid." I believed it, or just wanted to believe it. I was on the edge then. I seriously considered going to a therapist. Sometimes it seemed like I was getting depressed. Constant fatigue, anxiety, insomnia. But I tried to hold on. I wanted to prove to myself that I could handle it myself. And then she showed up, my neighbor. I saw her on my second day. She was standing in the doorway across from me, as if waiting. Small, thin, with strangely thick black hair. Her eyes were motionless, almost glassy. "Are you new?" she asked without blinking. "Yeah, I just moved in." "Well, they'll notice." "Who?" I asked, trying to smile. "The ones who live in the walls." I laughed awkwardly, as if playing along, and quickly went into my apartment. The thought was spinning in my head. I hope she's just weird, not dangerous. A couple of days passed, and I started noticing oddities. Every evening at the same time, exactly at 10:13 p.m., a rhythmic knock would start from behind the wall. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 knocks. Sometimes it would last 5 minutes, sometimes longer. At first, I thought maybe she was having a ritual or some form of TIC, but the way everything happened exactly at the same time, with the same intervals, was scary. I recorded the knocking on my phone. I wanted to post it on social media or send it to the building manager, but then I thought it would look pathetic. What would they say? Crazy neighbor? Well, it's an old house. Relax. One day, out of frustration, I knocked back, just out of irritation, and the knocking immediately stopped. The next day, she was standing in the door again when I went out. "Don't do that," she said quietly. "What?" "Don't answer. It means you agree." I froze. I turned and left, pretending I hadn't heard. From that day on, everything only got weirder. I started finding strange things by the door. A crumpled paper airplane with childish scribbles on it. A small glass jar with something like hair inside. Once, an old photograph, yellowed with age. A girl of about 5, standing by a wooden house. On the back, my name was written. I went to her again, knocked. The door opened literally a second later. "Do you get my gifts?" she asked with a slight smile. "Why do you do this?" "Because I like you. You're right." I pulled back. Her eyes were alive, too alive. There was no madness in them, only calculation. After that, I started to notice that she seemed to be watching me. She would appear in the elevator even if it was going in the wrong direction. She would stand by her window when I was leaving the house. Once, I noticed her standing behind me in a store, looking at me in the reflection of the yogurt fridge. I almost screamed. I called the police. They came, talked to her, and then one of the officers said, "She's a little weird, but she's not breaking the law. Just stay away from her. It happens." The next day, there was a dead pigeon lying under the door, without a head. I wasn't joking. I immediately called the local police officer. He examined the gift and said that it could just be an accident. Maybe the cat dragged it in, he shrugged. And yesterday, something even stranger happened. Early in the morning, I was sleeping and heard strange sounds from the kitchen. When I entered, I realized that the sound was coming from the ventilation, the same one that is common to our 2 apartments. It seemed as if she was poking around with a screwdriver. I thought maybe she was doing renovations. Although at 5 in the morning? Seriously? I freaked out and unscrewed the grate. The sound stopped. I took out my phone and shone a flashlight. There was a fork in the hood. A fork! What's in this old woman's head? Now I'm sitting in the room, writing this post, and I don't know what to do. After all, I don't have money to rent a new apartment. All my savings went on the down payment. I'll have to pay a penalty for breaking the contract. But on the other hand, I can't live like this anymore. This old woman will drive me crazy, especially since my psyche is already unstable. I swear sometimes I have dreams where she knocks on the wall again, then on the window or the door. She has seriously scared me. I understand that she is most likely sick and does not understand what she is doing. But what does this have to do with me? Maybe I can somehow scare her? I understand that I have no legal methods to make her leave me alone. But what if I somehow cheat